I just live my life my own way, and they can observe it as an example if they want to.
I certainly didn't want to give them the idea that they were special just because their parents were rich.
The kids that really get interested in something will work no matter how rich they are.
Dear Rowan, dear Charlie, my name is Victoria Wenthrop. I am 22 years old and I study in Munich at the CDTM, the Center of Digital Technology and Management. As your grandchildren are more in my age group, let me ask you, how do you transfer your wisdom to your grandchildren and heirs? How do you lead them to investing? Do you see value in investing as a family or individually? Thank you.
I'm going to let Charlie do the answering on it. He's got more.
Well, I have more grandchildren, but I am quite philosophical about my grandchildren not thinking exactly the way I do. It seems to me that's almost the natural course of life. And I just live my life my own way, and they can observe it as an example if they want to. And if they don't, they can try some other way. I don't like it when they try some other way. And I have to pretend that I like some of the boyfriends and girlfriends I don't like. But I just struggle through like everybody else. And usually I just bite my tongue and keep silent. That's my way of handling it.
Well, I would say that I think that in my case, my three children have grown a lot smarter in the last 30 years, and I think I've grown smarter.
Well, I know, but you needed a lot of help.
That is for sure. No, I would totally acknowledge that. That's why I had the room to go. I mean, I had plenty of room for improvement, but
we all had a lot to grow.
Where and how do you tell your most ambitious grandchildren to look for business opportunities?
To look for what?
Business opportunities.
I didn't get the last word.
Business opportunities.
Well, I don't spend any time telling my grandchildren what business opportunities to look for. You know, I don't have that much hope. I'm going to have trouble getting my grandchildren to work at all. Anyway, I don't think there is an easy way to handle a problem of doing better and better with finances. Obviously, if you're glued together and honorable and get up every morning and keep doing it and keep learning every day, and you are willing to go in for a lot of deferred gratification all your life, you're going to succeed. It may not be as much as you want, but you're going to succeed. And so the main thing is to just keep in there and be glued together and get rid of your stupidities as fast as you can, and avoid the bad people as much as you can, and you'll do reasonably well. But try teaching that to your grandchildren. I think the only way you got a chance is sort of by example. So if you want to improve your grandchildren, the best way is to fix yourself.
Charlie, so many of the people who come here come because they're looking for advice not on business or investments as much as they're looking for just advice on life. There were a lot of questions today, people trying to figure out what the secret to life is, to a long and happy life. And I just wonder if you were...
Now that is easy because it's so simple.
What is it?
You don't have a lot of envy, you don't have a lot of resentment, you don't overspend your income, you stay cheerful in spite of your troubles. You deal with reliable people and you do what you're supposed to do. And all these simple rules work so well to make your life better. And they're so trite.
How old were you when you figured this out?
About 7. I could tell that some of my older people were a little bonkers. I've always been able to recognize when other people were a little bonkers. And it helped me because there's so much irrationality in the world, and I've been thinking about it for a long time. Its causes and its preventions and so forth. Sure, it's helped me. And staying cheerful because it's the wise thing to do. Is that so hard? And can you be cheerful when you're absolutely mired in deep hatred and resentment? Of course you can't. So why would you take it on?
Is there any advice you would go back and give your 20-year-old self?
I have not. Many of my children have worked out well, and I've had very little to do with it. I think they come into the world to a certain extent pre-made, and you just sit there and watch. I don't think they're. It's been simply amazing to me as a parent to note how much is sort of preordained. Mm-hmm. The shy baby is a shy adult. The booming, obnoxious, domineering baby is the booming, domineering, obnoxious adult. I have never found a way to fix that. I can be cheerful about it, but I can't fix it. I can change my reaction, but I can't change the outcome.
I think certainly that if you are very rich and you bring up your kids to think that they are more important in society, or that they have some special privilege simply because they came out of the right womb, that's just a terrible mistake. But Charlie has raised 8 children that I know quite well, most of them, and I don't think any of them have that sense. But if you really are going to raise your kids to think that other people should do all the work for them, and that they will be entitled to sit around and fan themselves for the rest of their lives, I mean, you will probably not get a good result. Charlie's been rich most of the time when many of his kids were growing up. Some of his kids were growing up. I've been rich while my kids were certainly when they got into high school and college. But I certainly didn't want to give them the idea that they were special just because their parents were rich. And I don't think you necessarily have to get a bad result or have children that don't have any incentives simply because their parents are rich. The one thing I don't think you want to give them an incentive to do is try and outdo their parents at what their parents happen to be good at. I don't think that makes sense, whether you're a professional athlete or a rich person or whatever it may be, a great novelist, or you name it. But I really think if you're rich and your kids turn out to have no incentives, I don't think you should point at them. I think you should probably point at yourself. Charlie?
Well, I don't think you can raise children in an affluent family and have them love working 60 hours a week in the hot sun digging fence post holes or something. That's not going to work. So to some extent you are destroying certain kinds of incentives. And my advice to you is to lose your fight as gracefully as you can.
I'm not sure if you're poor, if you can get your kids to love the idea of working 60 hours a week. They may have to, but
the kids that really get interested in something will work no matter how rich they are. But it's rare to have an Ajit-like intensity of interest. If you were a proctologist, you might not like your day as it went on and on.
I think we better move along. Becky?